On this episode of My Lash 2 Brain Cells.
When I give people a consultation, it's never like a scary waiver that I'm getting them to sign. It's always just this comfortable flow where I'm talking to them about their desires and I'm like, fill out this quick little thing. You know, it's going to ask you A, B, C, D, and E. And this is why I'm asking you these things. Yada, yada, yada. Easy peasy, right?
Hello?
Hello. And welcome
To My Lash
2 Brain Cells.
I'm your host, Maddie Morris.
And I am also your host, Elliot Morris.
And today we have quite the juicy episode because I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how you can turn every service that you provide into a lifelong client and improve your LTV of your current clients.
What is LTV, Madison?
Lifetime value, honey.
You're crazy. You're nuts. Breaking out the acronyms already?
I am.
Man, what a technical podcast.
I think it is so life-changing when you realize that not every client just has to be a one-time, two-time, 10-time client. They can actually be
a 10,000 time client.
Yeah, and that'll change your life right there.
Facts.
That changed my business into seeing what I do as like my life, because we know that our clientele, it can be so stressful on you if you have such a high turnover of clients and you're constantly taking new clients, you're constantly doing sales and full sets and new client appointments. When I take a new client, I always have it in the back of my mind when I take them that this could be a client that I have for the next 5 years. This could be a client I have for the next 10 years. And so I want to make sure that that first appointment, there are a few key things that I'm doing to set the tone for our relationship going forward. And I always make sure that I'm building a relationship and not just providing a service. And that's a skill that you have to, work for, because a lot of people can provide a great service, but to build a relationship at the same time is something that not everyone can do.
True.
And that's why sometimes clients will just be constantly be trying to find a new lash artist for whatever reason, or you could make yourself a magnet.
A magnet.
A client magnet.
How does one become a client magnet, Madison?
I wrote down 8 things that I want to share, but number 1, and this is so important, and this gets down to, the beginning stages of greeting them in their consultation, but you have to be confident explaining every single question that client might have so that you can build trust with them. And that starts with the communication process in the beginning, the booking process, because a lot of clients have so many questions about lashes in general. It's a very intimidating service to get for people, no matter what age they are, no matter what experience they have getting lash extensions. It's just an intimidating service to get, right?
It requires a lot of trust.
It does. You have your eyes closed. There's chemicals being used around your eyes. People
Sharp tweezers.
Yeah, people hear horrible horror stories on the internet about lash extensions.
That one girl got her eyelid bit off.
Yeah. People have a lot of trust issues when it comes to their eyes and their appearance and lash extensions. So, and just in general, lashes are so personal to people. I know that I would never put my eyelashes in the hands of anyone that I didn't really trust. And that gets down to, I need to have that person be able to confidently explain every single question that I might have, completely explain it away. So one thing that I did during my booking process was I've always offered consultation calls. And what that is you can add that to your booking menu, and it's a 5-minute call where people book a consultation call with you, and you just call them at the time they book and you say, "Hi, I'm Maddie from Lightheart Lash. I noticed you were interested in booking. Do you have any questions for me that I can answer for you?" And this immediately puts you in a position of, I am for free answering any concerns or questions you might have before you ever step in my door. So it all starts before they even book. If someone sends me a DM about lash extensions when I was taking clients, I would always answer to the fullest of my ability and never make sure that I would make sure that person never felt dumb. Right?
Yeah.
Because we are so inundated with information and we know so much about the service we're providing, but we can't expect everyone to also know the same amount of information about the services they're getting. So make sure that you are explaining away all of their concerns and you are never coming from a place of arrogance or feeling like you know everything, and that you're always putting yourself in the client's shoes. So for example, say you're the service provider, Elliot.
Hey, welcome to Cool Guy Lashes.
And
LLC.
I said, "Hey, Cool Guy Lashes, how long do lashes last?"
Generally, you can assume that lashes are going to last 2 to 3 weeks between fills, and after 3 weeks, you will have 80% retention, and then you will come in and you will get a fill, and then you will look good all the time forever.
Okay. Yeah, That was pretty good.
Really?
I just wanted to quiz you.
Man,
I
I felt like I was put on the spot.
I just wanted to quiz you. But yeah, I would basically just say something.
You should do better than that.
Yeah, you do better than that. Yeah, I would basically just say like, "Hi, beautiful. My clients typically experience, 3+ week retention."
Dang. Cool Guy Lashes can only do 2 to 3.
Yeah, Cool Guy Lashes.
Lightheart's better than
Cool Guy Lashes is working on his retention game. But I would basically say like my clients typically rebook at around the 3-week mark. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Like always answer their questions to the fullest of your ability and be very, very confident in the experience that you are providing to them. Clients can 100% tell when you are not confident in what you're talking about.
You want it to seem like you really know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And if you don't, if you're a beginner and you feel like you're just not prepared and you feel a little nervous when people have questions about getting their lashes done, that is something to work on. You can watch YouTube videos, you can take new courses, you can take online courses, you can take our lash artistry bundle, our business bundle. Like there are so many things that are available to you where you can acquire that information and
it's out there.
Yeah, take notes, write it down. It's just one of those muscle memory things that happens over time. Like when I was first doing lash extensions, of course, when someone asked me a question, there were times where I had no idea. Like someone would ask me like, what are your tweezers made out of? What's in lash adhesive? What are lash extensions made of? And I would be like little black hair. Like I had no idea. And now when a client asks me that, I can be like, so all lash extensions are made out of some variation of, Korean PBT fiber, but there's obviously different qualities and some are more matte, some are more glossy. And, I'm always using the highest quality so that your lashes look as realistic as possible. Like there are just so many things that you can learn and never think that you're done learning, right? There's always more for us to know and take notes. And then it's kind of fun because once clients ask you those questions, when you have those detailed answers and they can tell that you're confident in what you're explaining to them, they trust you more.
And you sound like such a baller.
You sound like such a baller. I feel so cool when a client asks me questions because I just...
And you're like, oh yeah, lash glue has ethyl cyanoacrylate and PMMA in it, which is polymethyl methacrylate, which helps strengthen the glue and make it dry to more of a rubbery consistency.
Guys, lash husbands are such a special breed. They're such a special breed. I love how much you know. I love how much.
And it has carbon black to make it black.
But some don't.
And those ones are clear. Because they put carbon clear in them.
The funniest thing is like if I ever was just in a coma, I would have Elliot like do my friend's lashes and he would do a mediocre job.
True.
Which is a big compliment.
I could do an angel set.
You could do an angel set.
I could do an angel set.
You really could.
I've never tried, but I've seen enough. I'm confident I could.
Wait, should we... Okay, you want me to put up more content? Elliot keeps bugging me to put out 2 reels a day.
2 reels a day.
Should you... I should have a day where you do an Instagram takeover and you have to post 2 reels a day.
I will. I'll do it.
Do an angel set with me.
I don't want to torpedo. I don't want to torpedo your account.
Do an angel set with me, Elliot edition.
Elliot edition.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, boys and girls.
And mostly boys.
And mostly boys, because this episode's for the boys out there. I know there's 2% of you are out there.
The 2%.
The 2% of Madison's male audience. Yeah. That's who I'm here for.
Okay. Number 2 is there should be, for turning your clients into repeat clients, is there should be no hesitation or confusion on your end. You should make the process as straightforward as humanly possible. And that gets down to your communication. When you are doing their consultation, when you're mapping them, really, really try to practice during every class. And this takes time, obviously. If this is your first month lashing, obviously you're going to be a little bit nervous, but work on the fluidity of your service. And by fluidity, I mean like everything should flow. There should be a flow to it where you act like you've done this a million times. And this is just a comfortable, easy part of the process. Like when I give people a consultation, it's never like a scary waiver that I'm getting them to sign. It's always just this comfortable flow where I'm talking to them about their desires. And I'm like, fill out this quick little thing. It's going to ask you A, B, C, D, and E. And this is why I'm asking you these things, yada, yada, yada. Easy peasy, right? And so there's just ways to make your appointment a flow and really work on directing that. Make it kind of like a dance. And then number 3, and this is probably my hottest take for being a client magnet.
Let's go.
And everyone's going to be pissed.
Everyone's going to be so mad.
Oh, they're going to be mad. I recommend and I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, if I was
yeah,
building
this
my
is good.
clientele from experience, not from scratch, but from experience, and
Like
I
not if you're a beginner lash artist.
No.
This is for the advanced lash
yeah,
girlies.
like I'm saying, if I was just plopped in a new city, which I have been before, if I was tomorrow plopped in a new city and I had to build a clientele of lash extension clients from scratch, what would I do? What would be my game plan? And my personal game plan I would seek out the hardest clients to take. I would take everyone that had been rejected by other lash artists, that maybe had a little harder of a lash line to do, the more mature clients, the clients with like a little bit of damage maybe that was still lashable, obviously.
And we're not talking about the hard clients that it's like, this client sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
but let me just tell you, when
you gotta see someone else. But
when
like the
I
ones
moved-
that are hard.
When
to
I
do.
moved to Arizona, word got around that there was like a new experienced lash artist in town, and there was a local salon, and they had like a huge overflow of clients. And do you know what they started doing? They started giving me their problem clients.
Yeah.
I never communicated with them. I never said that I was like, I wasn't affiliated with them in any way, but they knew that there was a new lash artist in town that was very experienced, that I was like a trainer for a big brand. I was a private trainer. And they started giving me their clients that were experiencing things like poor retention and what they thought were allergies, but they were really just irritated by, bad quality lashes. And clients that were maybe like a little more complainy. They were more particular. The lash artist clients, the clients that were, lash artists themselves that maybe were more particular, they started giving me their harder clients to take. And my friend and I noticed this. They were like, they're doing that. They're doing that. And I felt like it was such a challenge. But what it did is it set me apart. And those clients' mind, they could never see anyone else because everyone else couldn't deliver and they couldn't adapt to their particular struggles. And so for clients that were experiencing irritations, they were able to see someone that could troubleshoot those irritations and could solve them and could give them remedies and could like troubleshoot why it was happening. And it was never an allergy, right? Allergies are so uncommon. I really only experienced 2 allergies in my entire career, but for irritations, a lot of the time it's just poorly applied lash extensions. It's low quality products, it's poorly applied lash extensions, and we were able to troubleshoot and fix it. For clients that had nightmarish retention, I mean, they were coming back within days with no lashes. They gave them to me because A, I was new, I had the capacity to figure it out, and 2, I was accepting of those clients, and I wouldn't turn them away to someone that like would take them, because some people, they just want the easiest clients, the clients with the huge full youthful lash lines with just gigantic lashes that are like just a dream to lash. They only want those clients, but that's not going to set you apart as an artist. It's going to make your life easier, but those clients could see anyone, right? If you want clients that are lifelong clients, they have to feel like they can only see you. And if you have worked with them to fix something or figure something out or to give them results that no one else can give them, that is how you lock yourself in as that lifelong lash artist. And it might be a little trickier. It might be harder, but like that is what makes an artist an artist. Like, don't you agree?
I do.
It doesn't, I feel like your skill isn't determined by how good of a set you do on the easiest clients. Your skill is set apart by how you adapt to harder situations. And what has really given me so much confidence in my own skill and artistry is being able to confidently lash and work with things that might be a little trickier. And maybe that's a lash line that like there's more lashes on one eye than the next, or they deal with, a lot of retention issues, or and obviously like you'll have to work with it and figure it out, but learning how to troubleshoot those things and how to work with those clients, like that'll always set you apart, and that'll build a lot of trust with those clients.
Facts. I like that.
I really do believe that.
Yeah. If you disagree, let us know in the comments.
What I thought about was, if I was to be plopped in like a new city overnight at where I am now in my career, I would reach out to all the lash artists that were so fully booked, and I would be like, if you have any clients that you're really, really struggling with, like give them to me, girl.
And then all those lash artists are gonna love you.
Yeah,
because they're like, oh, thank goodness.
I'll take them off your plate if there's someone you're really struggling with, and like I will be the one to figure it out. And that's really given me a lot of great clients that I have great relationships with, because we figured it out.
And that I also think that helped you improve your skills and
It
get
did,
better?
because
as a
there were
lash
some
artist?
clients where I came home and I'm like, Elliot, I don't know, like her lashes were they had this weird gap, and then one of them, like, you know, there was always just something, and
Yeah.
you know, obviously I'd cry about it and complain about it, but then I'd figure it out.
Yeah.
And I do my best, and I would never tell them they're too hard of a case, you know, to work with, because they're gonna find somebody else. So
True.
you might as well become skilled enough to work with it. And that takes a lot of extra trainings, and it takes a lot of extra time and a lot of extra patience, but it's 1,000,000% worth it.
And it's possible.
It's possible.
I think some people just think that, like, oh, that's not possible, I can't do that, and so they don't even try. But like, you should see
Like-
some of the people that Madison lashed. They didn't have eyelashes. They
Yeah.
had peach fuzz.
Yeah, but like it, and obviously like there is damage that like you should just rehab, but there are sometimes it's not as bad as you think.
Yeah, true.
Like I saw a picture on Instagram the other day, and someone posted a picture of their client's lashes, and they were like, if you have a lash line like this, you are not a candidate for lash extensions. Girl,
Yes, they are.
let me tell you what, this picture, I was looking at it, Elliot, it was a lash line, and it didn't have like 3 layers of lashes. It had like 1 layer of lashes.
Okay.
There was no like picked over damage or anything that was like she didn't have traction alopecia. She didn't have like permanent, you know, there wasn't damage to the follicle.
Yeah.
There was no irritation. There was nothing that I would ever look at where I wouldn't work on that client. It was just someone with 1 layer of lashes. They were a little more sparse than others, but you would create fans of different densities and different widths in order to accommodate the more sparse areas. And you would make narrower fans in the areas where it was more dense. Like there was just, I was looking at this. What?
Sparse? I think it's sparse.
It's sparse.
That's your Kiwi coming out.
It's sparse. The sparse eye line is sparse over there, in it.
What?
Their lashes were so sparse.
Is it sparse or
It's
sparse?
sparse.
Girl,
You've
I
been
have
saying
been
it for the
saying
last 13
sparse.
years.
Sparse.
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 Pears. That's sparse.
Pears.
No, I'm pretty sure that's like a European way of
Okay,
saying
yeah.
it.
It honestly wasn't even a sparse lash line. It was just a client that had 1 layer of lashes, and there was like no visible, like obviously if someone has like just horrible damage, I would like work with them to rehab their lashes before, you know, and get them to a healthy state before I lash them. But if someone just has like a weaker lash line,
Hello, Mega Volume. That's what it's there for.
like we have the lightest diameters on the market. We have angel sets. We have like 0.02s. There are so many things you can do. And I was looking at that lash line, I'm like, that is a client I wouldn't even think twice about doing.
True.
Like, why are you making a post about this?
calm down.
You just alienated so many people that have just a lighter lash
Yeah,
line.
all these girls looking at their eyes in the mirror like, I can never be beautiful.
Yeah. Figure it out. Figure it out. Okay, number 4 is make an effort to remember the details about people. It really, really matters, because if someone goes to like a huge, and that's the difference. If someone goes to like a big lash salon and they see whoever, you know, people aren't going to remember the little details about their life. But if you can remember, you know, nitty gritty details by their second appointment, and you make such an effort to care about them and relate to them and ask about them repetitively in a genuine way, like locked in.
Yeah, if you ask them about their dog's birthday party, like they're a client for life.
Yeah, and then tell them a little bit about your dog's birthday party and bond.
And then bond and be like, hey, we should go to the dog park together.
You don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that.
Okay, number 6 is pay very close attention to their cues. A huge part of making sure that your client is enjoying every second of the service is just paying attention to their body cues. If they're comfortable, if they're warm, if they're way too cold, if their, you know, hair is hurting them, if they, you know, need to go to the bathroom. Like, there are just so many things. Make sure that you're being attentive to them the entire service, because the littlest things, you know, people have it in their mind, like, oh, when I get my lashes done, my lash artist makes me feel like, you know, I can't move around, or I
They're
can't.
stinky.
What?
If your lash artist is stinky,
Yeah,
they
don't
wouldn't
be,
want to come.
girl, don't be stinky, girl. And that's the Elliot.
That's my tip.
That's Elliot Morris.
That's my tip.
That's Elliot's hot tip for the day. Don't be stinky,
Don't be
girl.
stinky.
Yeah. But yeah, just pay really close attention to their cues, and how they're feeling the entire time, and be very like human and accommodating to that. One thing, I had a client this last week that had never had lash extensions in her life, and the number one concern she had was that she couldn't get up and go to the bathroom. And she was like, well, I can't go to the bathroom, I have to be here for another hour. How much longer? And I was like, oh, she thinks that she can't get up and go to the bathroom. And I was like, oh honey, you can get up and go to the bathroom anytime you want right now. Let's go right now. Just like make it like chill for them, and but like in the mind of that client, she was like, oh, I can't get up and go to the bathroom. It's like getting, your nails done or something. And so I was like, oh, honey. And you have to take the initiative and let people know it's okay. You can't just be like, you can go whenever you want, because they're not just going to get up and go, you have to be the one to make everything completely okay. And so I'm always the first to, when I notice my client has to go to the bathroom, or they maybe mention it to me, or how much longer do we have left, I untape them, fan them off. And I'm like, oh yeah, meet you back here in 2 minutes. Let's take 5. Like make it chill for them, and you be the one to conduct the cues that they're giving you. If a client ever like has a little,
if they're on the bed and they start crossing their legs and going,
untape them, baby.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. then just hot tip. That's a cue that they have to go
One
to
thing
the
I've always
bathroom.
done, and it's just because like people are human, and laying down for a few hours, like you have to make sure that they feel cozy. And so one of the things I've always done is, if someone, I notice that they're like, they have a tickle in their throat, or they have to cough like every once in a while, and you can tell if someone is holding it in, I literally, I say, oh my gosh, do you want some water? Let me go grab you some. I don't say, do you want water? I say, do you want some water? I can go grab you some, And then
okay.
I run to the coffee shop. I go get it before they can finish their sentence.
Yeah, tip number 5 is have a coffee shop in your building.
No, but I've always had a water machine.
This is how we build demand.
No,
for
I've always had a mini fridge in my room with waters, and I will sit them up, and I will like
give them a juice box.
Yeah, like I give them a straw. I make it like, you conduct this, and really think of those details, because every appointment there's gonna be something, and you can't just expect people to be, just complete mummies at their appointment. Make it comfortable and pay attention to all of their cues the entire time, because they're going to remember things like that. And they can either remember their appointment as like, oh, it's my girl, my little feet are in every single podcast video.
Madison.
I just got a pedicure, so they're cute. Yeah, but think about it. Like, I know when I go get my nails done, it's a comfortable experience because my nail artist has made it that way. But I know, like, if I go get, massage.
Shout out Daisy.
Yeah, Daisy's a real one.
We love Daisy.
But there have been nail appointments where, like, I have been made to feel uncomfortable if I have to, like, check my phone or move around or, like, go to the bathroom or something. And I remember that. And you remember that. So pay attention to people's every little cue. Number 7, this is very important for being a client magnet.
Mm-hmm.
And that is being reliable.
Is that a hot take?
It is a hot take, because people don't want to be reliable and they don't want to be held responsible, but you should be so reliable.
Madison is honestly so reliable with her clients. She has never been late to like a client's appointment. I don't think you've ever been late.
If I ever have been a minute late, it has given me a panic attack on the way there. I will tell you that. Oh yeah, I'll leave like 45 minutes.
No, she leaves so early every time.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, Madison loves sleeping in. She sleeps in. Like,
I love sleeping in.
She loves sleeping in, but in days where she has a client in the morning, she is up at like 6:30 a.m. just bing right out of bed. I don't know how she does it.
It really, really matters though. And I think that there has become kind of like a narrative in the lash industry of like, oh, my lash artist canceled on me the day of, or my lash artist just kept having to move me around the same day, or my lash artist canceled at me. Like, what are you talking about? You
may have canceled, but it was because you were like, I think the only times you ever canceled is like if you were like deathly ill.
But when I had COVID, my biggest priority was like getting back to lashing.
Oh yeah. Well, and also like every time you've been sick, you have immediately like given your clients as much notice as possible.
And figured it out. And I made sure that they would have someone to go to and got back to my schedule. Like we figured it out. So like being reliable is so important to your clients.
Like just making your clients having good lashes your priority.
Especially if you want like luxury clients and you're giving them a luxury service. Like you would never go see someone and be paying, over $150 for a fill. And if they were like 5 minutes late every time, you'd be like, this just isn't it.
It's not it.
And so be reliable, be respectful of their time. And if you want your clients to respect your time so much, you have to be respectful of their time as well.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you have one client in a day, don't cancel them and move them to a day where you have more clients because it's more convenient for you. Show up for that client that day. It breeds important.
It's important, you guys.
It's important. You would
listen to what she has to say.
because your time is so valuable, and you have to expect that theirs is too. And
True.
and that really matters because, like I said, if our goal is having clients that see us for 5, 6, 10 years, you have to build some sort of trust and reliability with them.
Facts.
Yeah. Pre-booking, this may sound obvious, but pre-book your clients.
A lot of people don't do it though.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do
I'm
it.
surprised.
But pre-book your clients. I always would open up my schedule into the future. I would never just open up 1 month at a time, but that's completely open up to personal preference. Some people travel a lot. They have kids. It just makes more sense to them. So if you're like a month to month, like you just open your schedule at the start of the month and have people, book, like that's fine. For me, I would have people book like as far out as they want, because sometimes you have clients that, like, I personally wanted to attract clients that have such a busy, schedule that they want to schedule their lash appointments into their lifestyle. And so I would encourage them, like, yeah, go ahead, book for the summer, book for the holiday seasons, book out,
Makes it much more likely that they're going to see you
Yeah,
for a year
and
if
then
they're booked out for a year.
Yeah. And also if they just have like a standing appointment, like my client Tori, she doesn't even book online. She literally just tells me, she goes, book me out for every other Thursday at 10 a.m. So
And then
no
every
one
other Thursday she's
at 10
there.
a.m. I know where I'm going to be, and she knows where she's going to be, and no one else can get Thursday at 10 a.m. because that's Tori's spot.
Tori's spot.
I
She's got it locked down.
I love
Tori,
her.
Tori has lash appointment AirPods that live in Madison's room. That's how dedicated Tori is.
But it's like you have, like, I feel like just telling clients to go online and book their next appointment, they sometimes don't, or they get lazy, or they put it off, or they wait until the day before they want their lashes done. So I would always make sure at the end of their appointment that you make sure they're locked into something.
Yeah.
And if it's a first time appointment for them and they don't even know if they're going to get lash extensions again, I always just say, totally fine, you can cancel it, later on. But because I book up so fast, let's just put one on the books for 3 weeks from now so you have it. And if you decide you're obsessed with your lashes, then come on in, we'll have you for that appointment. And if you go a week and you decide, oh, these aren't for me, or you're just gonna you want a removal, or you want to get a lash lift after that, totally fine, just let me know and I'll remove that appointment. No fee or anything necessary.
Honestly, that's probably like the one biggest thing that's going to get you returning clients is like booking them out while they're still there. Like that is so many people are going to keep seeing you just because of that.
Even if you have online booking, do that in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I'm going to throw you on the schedule right now before they leave. Like say, hey, does this time 2 weeks from now work?
Yeah.
Or
and let
whatever.
them know, like, if you want to cancel it, perfectly fine, but we
Totally
need it
fine.
on the books, because if 3 weeks comes, I'm just looking out for future you.
You're not going to be able
and
to
if
get
3
in.
weeks comes, you will not be able to get in. I won't be able to squeeze you in.
I'll be booked out, and
Yeah.
then you're going to have to get a full set again.
And it's just always a courtesy
We
for
don't
them.
want that.
You know your schedule better than they do, and just
True,
let
true.
them know as a courtesy, like, this is like going to be,
Facts.
this is how it works. It's kind of like when you go get your hair done. Hairstylists are great at doing this. Hairstylists always say, if you want to maintain your color, are you snuggling with me?
Yeah.
No.
Why? It's nice.
On the podcast.
nice.
You can't do PDA on the pod.
It's not PDA.
It's like a middle schooler making out in the hallways.
Yeah, we're not making out in the hallways. My neck was tired.
We filmed a few episodes back to back.
Oh, you guys, I'm so eepy.
Podcasting is hard.
It's so hard.
It's so hard for Ellie. It's hard being a co-host.
Yeah, after this, I'm gonna go honk shoe, me.
Me. Alrighty. But that was my tips on how to keep your clients as returning clients. It'll be so much less stressful for you over time as a business owner, because I noticed one of the number one stresses that people have is just a constant flow of clients.
That is
And
stressful.
it is
That
so
does seem
stressful. It's always like having first dates. Do you know how stressful first dates are?
I'm never going on a first date again.
No, think of your clients as just having 20 boyfriends, but you don't want new first dates.
Nah. I want 20 long-term girlfriends.
Yeah, my clients are my 20 long-term relationships. We are locked in, honey.
Locked in.
Do you have any other tips or pointers for how to keep returning clients? I know you've never taken a lash client, but if you did.
If I did, I would.
Like, what is something that you notice that, like, my students and, like, our colleagues and, like, the renters do that keep people coming back? Because you observe everyone in the building every day.
I do. I hide in the walls.
And our renters
I climb through the ceiling.
Yeah, you live at Lightheart.
I peer in through the ceiling.
And it's so interesting to, like, observe what everyone at Lightheart does, because everyone at Lightheart has just lots of returning clients.
Yeah.
We kind of get to know them and see
Honestly,
them.
I think they all provide very professional services.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think a lot of people who don't like it, just they all conduct their business in a very professional way. Like, they've decorated their rooms very nice.
Yeah.
They have signs on their doors. They like when
They have referral flyers and programs.
everything just seems like thought through and like very professional. And it's like, oh, this is like a real business. And it, like all of their like service businesses feel like real businesses. It doesn't just feel like a girl taking lash clients. It feels like, oh no, this is like
their clients definitely have like a
business, yeah.
respect for all their businesses. Like
Yeah.
when I look at some of the renters at Lightheart, I notice how they greet their, and obviously like none of this is coming from me. They all conduct their own businesses. Like, we are strictly just kind of like landlords, but so none of this is like coming from me. I haven't told them how to do any of this, but I notice how they greet their clients, and a lot of the renters at Lightheart, like, they come out to the coffee shop. They're always on time. They greet their clients with a big hug. They're so excited to see them. They always are like, hey girl, come on in, what's up? They're never just like, come on back, girl. They always just have such a
They're
kind,
bubbly.
welcoming energy.
Yeah. And I think that goes along. Like, they do that, and then also like their business, they just have like systems for everything. They have everything figured out. It's like, oh, like, yeah, just rebook here. It's super easy. Or like, oh, here's a referral card. Like, do a referral. It's super easy. Are you taking a Be Real?
Yeah.
Okay. Be Real time. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in our Be Real. Oh my gosh, they're all in it. They're in our, you guys are in our Be Real.
Yay.
How cute. I hope you were smiling.
That's so cute. And if you guys I talk a lot about like conducting the perfect client consultation, because I think that is such a great way to build trust with clients that are new.
It's a great way to start it off on the right foot.
Yeah. And I just came out with a new ebook about how to conduct the perfect client consultation, and we're throwing that up on the site tonight. It's new. It's hot off the press.
Well, when you guys see this video, it will already be up on the site.
When you guys see it, it'll already be up on the site, but it's just such a valuable little resource of how to conduct the perfect client consultation. So much further beyond just like a good form or a good, how to map them, like it just in depth. If you're curious about how to create that flow and that kind of, like I said, that really natural fluidity to like your appointment and being an expert at what you're talking about, definitely a great resource for you. So I hope you guys get that and you love it. And until next time,
Smooches.
Bye.
Bye.